Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video today. My name is David, I'm a life coach and I try to help people heal from different kinds of trauma. This video is about the covert narcissist. I made lots of videos about covert narcissism. Feel free to check them out in my playlist. And this is about when the mask slips. And I'm sure many of you who are aware of what covert narcissism is understands what that is, the mask. Their fake, false self. Narcissists reject themselves. They've been doing this since they were a child. Their parents help them do it. Whether their parents try to force them to be what they want or just totally shame who they are, right? Different ways of doing this so that the covert narcissist grows up full of shame and totally rejects himself. Real no self there, just never allowed to express what they want and need and how they feel, things like this. So they project an image. They project an image of who they want to be, and this is to get what they want. I mean, they're human in that sense that they have wants and needs. May not be the same as yours, but they have them. And to get this, they can't be their true self because they hate themselves, and you will too. They reject themselves and they fear that you will as well. They can't take much criticism, typically. So they project this image, and the typical image that they project, really, the narrative is that they're a nice person, they're a good person, and or a victim. All for your trust. They have a plan. Literally, they have a plan. And from that beginning of that relationship, when they meet you, they want to be who you want to get what they want from you. And they may treat you in the beginning like they want to be treated. A lot of times narcissists will put you up on that pedestal and treat you how they want to be treated, and you'll notice that it's kind of things that they value about you. It may be exterior things, not really who you are. Maybe you're so fun, you're good in bed, you're so beautiful, you're so handsome, these kinds of things. And really it's to gain ownership, to have control over you. See, narcissists objectify people. They don't really see the true person inside. They don't have empathy and don't care how you feel, like an object. They want things from you, and to do that they must have control over you, ownership. And when they feel that they have this control, that's when the mask will start slipping. That's when the false narrative that they project to you begins to slip away. So they will slowly break you down. In relationships with narcissists, they will slowly break you down, any of them. They might gaslight you to make you believe that you are always the problem. It's always your fault, it's your wrong, you're not good enough, you're inadequate. The reasons that our relationship is bad is because you won't do this, you do that, things like this. Now, covert narcissists may be the shy, quiet, nervous, secret, private, all covert. But they're also sly and sneaky, undercover, hidden. A term that really suits a covert narcissist is passive aggressiveness. Passive aggressive. Not really telling you or expressing how they really feel, and they might punish you later. You might have a problem and they say, okay, sure, and they smile, and later they'll punish you for it. Really, these things will really break you down because there's no real communication here. You don't quite know what's going on. You start doubting yourself, wondering what's wrong with you. Their traits will surface in relationships. People with personality disorders, their biggest problem is relationships with other people. That's why these terms have been classified, and that's why they're labeled, people with this are labeled this way, to know what their problem is and why their relationships won't work. So the traits they have will eventually surface in time, eventually. And you'll see them start seeing them maybe as fake, contradicting at least. They may be psychosomatic and fake injury or illness. And if they do this, it's a matter of time before you will see they didn't really hurt themselves. They really aren't sick, or they're sick and somehow they're better all of a sudden, and then they always resort back to maybe the same illness. And it can be all kinds of different things. Fake crying. if this is somebody, and typically it is, who may fake cry, eventually you'll see that crying, that they aren't such good actors anymore. Maybe you believed it the first time, the second time, but maybe it's that third time where they let their guard down and they don't feel that they have to be so convincing. And they cry, oh, and you notice there are no tears, and there's something wrong there. If somebody's crying without tears, what's the problem? Do you have a medical condition where your eyes don't water up? I mean, because there's all kinds of reasons our eyes need to water, right? To keep things out of it, to protect us, to keep it moist. But crying, geez, no tears. Another thing you might notice is, well, narcissists can be very judgmental. And these are covert narcissists, so a lot of this stuff is inward. They may not project this all the time and say things that are judgmental, but they will eventually. And you'll see, and it could be it could sound or look like a nice way. They're talking bad about somebody or something, how they're inadequate, not good enough. And it's also to boost their ego. I'm better than them. Very common thing you'll hear covert narcissistic men do is talk really bad about other men. Oh, they're just typical men. I'm not like that. And you'll see women do similar things about other women too, covert narcissistic women. But when they judge others and then you see them do it, that's when the mask is starting to slip, isn't it? We couldn't keep up. You can't, I can't, nobody can keep up that false image forever. And when they believe they have you, when they're in control of you, when they own you, these kinds of things start to show. They may judge people, and then you'll see them do it. They may accuse, the accusations, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. And I see this a lot. I see a lot of people who accuse people of being racist, or in fact, racist. They can't accept their own racism, and they accuse others of it. I can go on and on about examples of that, but you'll see them, maybe claim, their biggest thing is everybody's racist, and then you'll see them be racist. You'll see them do something that's very racist. So the mask slips when they believe they're in control. And one of these times, I've said before, if you guys watch my videos, is vacation. Vacations can be a very good one, because you see, relationships have problems, and especially these. And problems in relationships are the biggest source of stress, even for them. Okay? So eventually problems are going to happen, and they may start it right away in your relationship, and you guys ignore them and scoot them under the rug. He or she, the narcissist, always came up with some reason, that's out of your control, or it's just you and you don't know what to do to fix it, so we don't fix it. And stress in relationships will make these traits surface. That's when their personality disorder comes up. Vacationing can be stressful for a narcissist. But also, they may feel like they have you. Maybe you can't leave on that vacation. Maybe they got you so that they paid for the ticket and they bought the room and they have the rental car, and you don't feel like you can do anything. You don't have ways and means maybe to go get your own place or just leave or go home, and it seems so difficult and so hard, and they know it, and things start to slip and they start to change. And when a covert narcissist changes, it can be small at first, or it can just be all at once and be completely different people. You may think you've known somebody and you've been living with them for months and having sex with them, and you think you've shared all your intimate moments and all your history and your life with them, and you believe that they've done the same, and you think you totally know this person, and all of a sudden there's a completely different person standing next to you or laying next to you, or you're on vacation together. Who is this person? Other ways that you can't leave too, very important. Maybe you guys live out in the country. I have seen narcissistic men who live out in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, and they're online trying to get other women to literally just go out there and live with them out in the middle of the country. And if you do, you might be stuck there. It could be financial. They could cripple you financially, somehow get you to quit your job. Maybe you get help from somebody or family and they cut that off and ruin that relationship, so you're completely dependent on them. They may get rid of all your support. They may criticize your friends and maybe convince you that your friends are bad and you stop talking to them. Or maybe they just soak up all your time so you no longer have time for your friends and your friends don't wait around anymore. Maybe they've convinced you that your family is toxic and sick and you need to get rid of your toxic family. Or maybe they've just done things, or maybe just your relationship has gotten toxic to the point where everybody else in your life doesn't want to be around it. But they'll isolate you till you have no support, nobody else to run to, nobody else's place to stay at, even to get away, to get out of there, to even bounce things off of people for advice and information. Nobody. Or maybe they marry you. Extremely common thing I've seen with covert narcissists is they are this amazing person until the day you get married, and it can literally be the day. I've heard stories on the honeymoon, literally the second the ceremony's over, they'll even tell him, "You're mine now." And just, they've never acted like that in their life. And they're just complete jerks. That's when maybe the sex completely stops. Or maybe that's when the actual freaky sex things start. Or maybe they've been totally faithful, loyal, honest with you until you're married, and now they're not home anymore. Right? Now they're cheating. Maybe you start catching them in lies. So this mask will slip. They cannot keep it up forever. And that's why I encourage all of you when dating and allowing anyone into your life, take your time to get to know people. They can't keep this up forever. And as long as you're keen to this, and as long as you believe you have enough self-worth to end these kinds of relationships and to be self-sufficient and independent so that you don't depend and rely on people, especially right away, you'll be able to navigate through these kinds of relationships and end them. This is just a little glimpse that I wanted to show you guys of when the mask slips, because it is incredible. And like I said, it's not always the same. You know, each narcissist is a different person, and they don't do it the same way, same time. The average is at least 6 months, could be more, where you start seeing these things, where these narcissistic traits really start to surface. And they'll be completely different people. They can be, and it is a trip. It really is. I'd love to hear your guys' experiences with this, and I know you guys have some good ones, right? And you guys, I know I didn't know who this person was for 4 years, and they completely changed. 6 years, 8 years. Typically, it's about 6 months. Could be a year and a half, but typically about 6 months, and that's just when the stress of relationships start to build. And you know, like I said, every relationship has problems, and these problems cause stress, and this stress causes people's personality disordered traits to start to surface, and that's what we wait for. The idea is to not be so attached by the time we find out who somebody is, so we can make a clear, better judgment and decision and choice. What should we do? Because we're human beings and we all attach to people, okay? And you have some control over that. Okay, so there's ways to attach harder and faster, and that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to be the nice person and invite you out and buy you things and pay for things. And that's the treatment they want later. They'll start wanting that from you. They'll give you tons of attention and tell you how beautiful and amazing and smart and cool you are. And then they want that from you. The problem is they so overestimate themselves. When they do something good, it is unbelievably amazing. And you could do the same thing and it's not as good. They underestimate others. And devalue, right? So these are some reasons why the mask slips, and when it does. I would really like to hear your guys' experience. Let me know. And all of you, please subscribe to my channel and vote up or down and share this with people. I'd appreciate that. And anybody that wants coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. Links right down below. Thanks, guys. Love yourself first. Love to hear your examples and ask me any questions you want. Thanks. Bye-bye.